Hi, I'm Amy, and I am a therapist turned astrologer in Boulder, Colorado. And I'm just checking in this week because if there's ever been a week where a therapist turned astrologer should be checking in, it's this week with some aspects we've been having to Chiron, which represents and activates our core wounds, and then some oppositions we're having to Pluto. There's just a lot that's really getting tugged on in our deepest, most unconscious and subconscious layers. And so I just wanted to say a little bit more about how I kind of view astrology, the lens that I use, because I think a lot of people think of astrology as being more of a way to predict or forecast energies, or to kind of be able to kind of know what's coming. And while that's always there, and that's always a way to use those energetics, I like to help guide people to see those energy dynamics, those kind of cosmic streams of energy that come through with thematic triggers and supports, as being to help assist you on your soul journey. And this is going to happen whether you're paying attention to it and you're conscious to that or not. So I teach people to just be as conscious as you can to your soul growth, your personal development, who you are, who you came here to be, like really deeply who you're meant to be in the cells of your being, in the blueprint of your birth chart. And from that vantage point, you can take on these tougher, more triggering, potentially triggering astrological elements or aspects, transits, to really be in support of showing you, bringing to light, bringing to the surface the things, the topics, the themes, the patterns in you that you're ready to see, to feel. And if you see them as information, indications coming up of what you're ready to deal with and work with, rather than triggers that are slapping you in the face. This is not life and triggers happening to you. You are not a victim at all. You can always choose to not only be the participant in your life, but to also be the observer, and then to work your way into also being the director, where you're actually deciding, choosing, manifesting, creating, and living from a place where you can have a detachment from the emotional waves and the everyday streams of what comes in through your nervous system, and really see it more as, okay, this is just what I am able to see in myself, what I'm able to heal in myself, and how I'm able to grow right now. So today is Monday, July 18th, 2022, and we have Mercury, the mind, buzzing around like this little fly who got into my studio. We have Mercury opposing Pluto. And anytime Pluto is in the mix, especially in an opposition where Pluto's really pulling and stretching on whatever that other planet or point is, what we have is that Pluto is always going to activate us in some of our more primitive parts of self. It might be fear, it might be rage, it might be shame, it might be just those real deep underlying parts that are hard for us to see and touch, the parts that are in our shadow, or the inner child parts that we haven't yet brought forth to heal. And so Pluto really, though, wants us to see our highest good and our highest path for our soul, but doesn't care how we get there. So that's why it can be so activating and so sometimes harsh or abrupt. So right now, today, Pluto's really, and all these transits last more than just the one day, but the opposition is exact today. And this energy feels like tugging on the way that we think, communicate, express ourselves, relate to others in more of a platonic kind of situation. Those are the areas of our life, the places where we're going to kind of see ourselves being triggered or activated by the things that Pluto is getting us to see. So if you're not sure how to work with this energy, just think back Monday, Sunday, Saturday. What was going on for you? What was the stuff that was coming up emotionally in your system that was bothering you or triggering you or upsetting you? And try to pull that out and see that as information for you to work with, something that you can detach from the personal experience of it and kind of see it like you're an observer, see it like you're a reporter or an anthropologist. And then you can kind of pull out what are the themes that are there that are patterns for you, what's repetitive there, and think to yourself, how can I alchemize that? How can I shift this into something that I'm going to change? Are you going to set different boundaries? Are you going to speak up and communicate your truth sooner or stronger? Are you going to clear your mind and listen to your intuition and your heart instead of getting caught in looping thoughts? Those kinds of things. Are you going to let your body consciousness help you make your decisions? So those are some of the themes that could have been coming up the last couple of days. And then what's interesting is that tomorrow on the 19th, Pluto will be opposing the sun directly. And this again is another probably 3-ish day kind of intensity. So we're already feeling that now too. And the sun is going to be more things that are related to your sense of self and how you are seen and how you show up and how you shine your light and those kinds of themes. So if if you're in a place of being triggered or activated by those Pluto opposition energies happening with Mercury, and then you kind of just fall right into that activation of how Pluto and the sun are in an opposition right now, this week is just going to absolutely flatline you. So if I had to give some kind of basic, simple advice without having to know all of your astrology, which would be related more to what houses you have these natal planets in, and what Pluto's doing to your natal Pluto in the chart right now, and there's some other kind of various layers like that. But just some basic kind of like therapy, self-care type stuff would be to make sure that you're really checking in, that you're spending some time to breathe. I like to teach people to feel their high heart right here. Just close your eyes and let your body just be exactly how it is. You can even just do it with me right here and now. You're just kind of letting yourself be present to yourself and your body sensations and your thoughts without having to do anything about them, without needing to judge or change anything, but just acknowledging yourself and your inner space and your body. And the body knows so much. The body always knows the truth. It always knows your intuitive sense. It's really coming into the mind where we get jumbled around and kind of come out of that body knowing. So the more we can just kind of come down into the space of the heart, the high heart, anywhere that you feel anchored in your lower body, even in your legs and feet, it can help you pull back into that detachment where you are no longer in the reaction, in the trigger, in the activation, but instead you're able to kind of see it for what it is and then relate to it that way. I'm so excited that I'm going to be starting a school that's going to be kind of looking at astrology like this. So enrollment's going to be opening up really soon on the new moon in Leo coming up on July 28th. And school will start on the equinox in the fall in September. And it's a combination of really deep self-growth and looking inward. We're actually going to be carrying our own birth charts through the 9-month program. But it's also going to be teaching you all kinds of really in-depth soul growth level astrology understanding and information. So it's really kind of a 2-part program, both being very deep and beautiful and amazing, so that if you only do the school for your own self-growth, that completely works. And if this is something that you want to do more in your professional life, or maybe you already are, but you want to wrap in more of the kind of soul growth perspective and the psychology piece and the galactic level of understanding, this would be a great opportunity for you. So follow along, and I'll be making announcements about the applications and enrollment beginning in a couple of weeks here. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to come on here a lot this week and support people through these energies. I'm also offering meditations on my YouTube channel. You can find them there at Root Wellness Studio. And hang in there. Got more coming.